Hey Dumplings, it's Dave Decide. Today there's a few topics we need to talk about. The government issued a statement about Jin and the military exemption controversy, if you will. I also want to get into BTS being attacked at the concert, but mostly concerned for Jin. And then also talk about Jimin's OST. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab it, and let's get into it. BTS recently made an appearance on a K-drama, sorta. Usually when people say BTS had made an appearance, it's like a cat that looks like Suga, or it's one of the BT21 characters like the stuffed animals that appear. My guess and theory is that the BT21 characters are marketed by a different part of the company. That has to be more of the retail side than the music side that the boys are on. And also BT21 appears in public places and bought by people who have no idea BTS is associated with it. But in this K-drama we are talking about today, BTS's individual names actually appear, which is great. The drama is called Our Blues. It's a romance and it mostly surrounds people's lives on Jeju Island. First off, ARMYs found out about this drama when it was noted that Jimin was going to be singing one of the soundtracks. I don't believe there's an official name for the soundtrack yet, and it's not all officially out yet. You can find it online and listen to what is out, but it's very short. It's only a minute. ARMYs were so excited to hear that Jimin will be collabing with this drama. There's so many shows that want BTS to be a part of it, and it's just awesome. All of the boys' voices are perfect for soundtracks and piano ballads. Now, BTS's individual names actually did appear in the show. I believe the trailer of Our Blues. ARMYs like to zoom in and really inspect things, especially things that the boys are a part of in some way or another. They hope that they will find some sort of Easter egg in the film. And likely if Jimin was a part of production, and then they would have told him that he'll have a moment with BTS's name. ARMY will also go frame by frame, and some will even be on the lookout in the background to see if the members make a physical appearance. Also at this point, the fandom is very sensitive to the boys' names, so when they see something that resembles BTS's name, it's going to stick out immediately, and they'll notice it right away. It was in the back of a bus, and you saw the school kids' name tags be the individual BTS members' names. I don't know if intentionally, but it was also a throwback to BTS's older work. BTS, when they debuted, they were obviously younger, and they very much did their music video concepts around this idea that they were still in school. So a lot of boys' school uniform and school-themed things. So not only did the bus scene with the school boys in uniform really match BTS, but it almost feels like an homage to their older work, which the older ARMYs are definitely going to appreciate. It's one thing to just simply get BTS to be a part of your drama for the sake of ratings, and another to actually represent them properly and celebrate their career in the drama. At least this is my theory. Perhaps I am simply thinking too hard and much about it, and it's not that deep. Like, they were just like, we don't know where else to put BTS's name, and I'm thinking so deep about it. But it's likely that they did think about it, because with film and movies, every single shot and every person and extra in it and every uniform is thoroughly thought about. Nothing is really a mistake, or is not supposed to be. That's why it's art. If it wasn't supposed to be in the shot or move along the story, it wouldn't be. It's very interesting and exciting when all this stuff comes out at once, because then there's so much to talk about and listen to and watch, but it means a lot of stuff gets swept under the rug and not addressed. BTS is currently in Las Vegas with their concert, and there's some strange things happening. After all, this is the city of sin, and there's possibly some rowdy people or people who have just come back from a party. I don't know. BTS is also acting more rowdy and more of a free spirit, maybe? So maybe some people feel like they can too. It's not a bad thing, and BTS wants you all to have fun at their concerts. But something that was a little controversial was that people were throwing things at BTS. When BTS was on stage, people were throwing flowers, and there were even shots that V had held a bouquet in his hand. And then there were many shots of people throwing flowers and stuff at BTS while they were on the cart that was driving around the stadium. You can literally see the boys duck and move as to not get hit. And this is so scary for them, right? Like, there's thousands and thousands of people in the audience. When something is being thrown at you, you can't see what it is. You don't know that it's flowers and that maybe you should catch it. You just duck. But also, it's scary because what if it's not flowers? What if it's something dangerous? Also, when they get hit, maybe it hurts, even if it's flowers. Roses have thorns. People are mostly concerned for Jin, as he was definitely someone who had just recovered from surgery, and when you duck or block, you typically use your hand, or even use your hand instinctively to slap it away. These actions could result in re-damage of his finger, as he hasn't fully recovered. And one thought that people can use to argue against that, just popped in my head, is that, well, the flowers were allowed in the stadium. But I think people typically think you're not going to throw it at the members' faces. So of course there were a lot of people who were upset and asking ARMY not to do this. Throw it at the stage after the show is over and everyone leaves. There's usually someone who comes by and collects the flowers and stuff that was is thrown on the stage, and if it's not underwear, they may give it to the boys. And this is much safer, and do not throw it while the boys are on stage. They can trip and fall. Fortunately, everyone and Jin is okay, and no further damage to his finger was talked about, and so we didn't get a "hello, this is Big Hit" statement about his finger now. However, the world and the government didn't stop talking about Jin after this, and the issue of his military enlistment was very much this huge conversation right now. There are so many articles and news articles talking about his enlistment that it ultimately made its way back to the government again and brought this conversation back up again, and with much more urgency. If you've done anything related to the government, something as simple as renewing your license, you'd quickly find out that the government works slowly. I mean, how long did they know about the BTS enlistment? But the BTS law only passed days before Jin's birthday? Like, hurry up, geez. But new news came out. BTS, right before one of the Vegas concerts, had a press event and all the members got to talk. One of the reporters asked Jin about the military, and Jin responded saying that he very much trusts HYBE's decision and has left the decision to HYBE, and then basically concludes that whatever HYBE's decision is, he will respect and follow through, as that will also be his decision. One pretty obvious thing that I hadn't considered was the fact that maybe it's taking BTS so long to create this new album because they don't know when they're enlisting, so they don't want to make plans. So they've kind of been in this emotional limbo for a year or so. Not only were they not allowed to perform and have concerts, they couldn't really create much. It would be so wasteful to have an album and not tour or be able to promote it on TV, especially if Jin has bigger parts in the singles and stuff. It would be difficult to promote it on TV shows without him there. And since they have no clue if the exemption would happen or not, I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Would you start to plan anything? The CCO of HYBE, which stands for Chief Commercial Officer, he oversees the promotion of the boys, so TV appearances, marketing, sales, etc. He made an appearance at the press event as well. He mentioned that BTS will accept the call of duty if requested upon them, and also added that HYBE's decision will also be the boys' decision, but also continued to talk about how the military law has changed a bit and everyone is monitoring that. So what are the changes he is talking about? In another article, it was mentioned that the government will make a quick decision by the end of April. They talked about how BTS's achievements are worthy of this exemption and changes some of the new criteria for exemption, stating that in order to get exempt as a singer, you must have a Billboard Award, American Awards, and this is translated from Korean to English, so it is believed they mean American Music Award, not all American awards. And then lastly, the final award you need is the Grammy. And I don't know if a nomination counts. BTS obviously has most of these and could be in line for the exemption. The government left an official statement to say, BTS has led the country to become a first-class country leading the world in popular music, and now it's the country's turn to respond back to these people. This meaning that perhaps the government is considering all of the actions that BTS has done for the Korean economy and ultimately knows that this is something they need to think long and hard about before having the boys enlist. I think this idea of military exemption is very close, and I think they may actually get it. There is nothing stopping them from getting exemption. It's not like racism or anything like that. The only debate here is that should a group that is Grammy nominated but have not actually won the award constitute as one of the criteria. It isn't shocking that the netizens who have heard about this were saying that this is a dumb list of criteria, and I definitely agree. There has to be a better way to measure the success of a group and the impact of a group has on a country or the world without these awards, especially since awards are chosen by a board and sometimes a racist board that has less to do with the achievement. Is this also to say the Korean Olympic players who are exempt have all gotten this type of prestigious award in order to get said exemption? Because if not, then BTS should also be allowed for exemption for much less. But there is also this debate of if the standard is so high for K-pop stars to be exempt, is there a point for creating a law literally no other K-pop group has or may ever achieve? So this is definitely open-ended, and I wanted to hear how likely you think the exemption will be, but I want to say I think it's very possible and a very high percentage in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.